All right, we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome. We have Mel with us tonight. I'm very excited for that. Sorry we were a couple minutes late. I was kind of showing him StreamYard a little bit so he can get a little bit more used to it whenever
As we
he
say
goes
in the
to live.
South, where I come from, I'm becoming computer literate, y'all.
Yes.
Live from Chicago and Painesville, Ohio, it's the Kevin and Mel Show.
Yes. Love it.
I'm at my office, you all, so you'll notice. Can I just say thank you to somebody?
Yes.
Okay. I got this wonderful Aloha shirt in the mail at my office from Jolyn Shumsky in Fort Worth, Texas. And she said, "Blessings, Jolyn." And she sent this beautiful card. And she sent me all kinds of vitamins and things, and that was so nice. Yeah, it was amazing. So she says, "I wanted to find a way to thank you for all of the time you give to us on YouTube, um, and clarifying what is going on. I was just home in Hawaii. She's from Hawaii, and the wonderful Linda G shared with me your shirt size. I said, as Linda would say, a petite large." All right, that's the line I stole from Linda. All right, and the address. I hope it fits. Yes, the Juice Plus is a product that I have used for 29 years. Um, I heard you say you're having allergy issues. I decided to send you a 4-month supply, and that she did. It was so kind of her. Thank
Yes.
you, thank you, thank you. It has helped my body repair itself. If you want to use more, and the medical something. Oh, uh, my website is, I can't read it. Okay, Joe-Lynn, Joe-Lynn1.juiceplus.com. So that is Joe.Lynn, the number one, juiceplus.com. Love you lots. Aloha, Jolyn. So I just wanted to say thank you, and I'm going to thank her on my show. And then she sent me this postcard from the island of Oahu, and this is King Kamehameha. King Kamehameha was the king that united all of the Hawaiian Islands, because before each one had different kings. And so then she sent me this beautiful card. It's a children's art project fighting cancer. And she sent me all kinds of Juice Plus. So I'm like, yay. I took one today. And I got to say, I'm feeling better. It did help my allergies. So, Jolyn, you rock, girl.
Our community is wonderful, aren't they?
They are. I mean, well, Linda Grindle called me and she asked my shirt size, and she said that there was somebody who wanted to see me in an Aloha shirt. And I said, that's not necessary. So I gave her the office address. And when I came in yesterday morning, there was a box out there that the mailman left, and it was kind of wet because it had rained. But the shirt didn't get wet. And you know, Jolyn, I stayed at the office late to do this show, if you're watching. And guess what? I didn't have to run home and change shirts. So, yay.
There you go.
I'm going to leave this one here. No, we're going to Hawaii over Christmas from the 17th to 24th. And I'm going to take this with me because this is a special shirt. So, thank you. It's full of aloha, full of love.
Yes.
Thank you. All right. So,
all right.
It's a wonderful movie. It really is.
Yeah. You know, and especially like when all the hard stuff's going on, like in your personal life, like just all the love and support that you really feel, you know, going live and just really feeling all of that warmth. It's really amazing.
Right. It is. It's really good.
So tonight, me and Mel are doing some political world event questions. So if you have any of those, you can go ahead and write them in all caps. Maybe a couple of heart emojis, and we'll try to get them starred. So is there anything specifically that you want to read on, or any hits that you want to share, Mel?
Well, I like this one from Nature Lover. Yeah. This is cool. Hi, y'all. Hi, honey. Nature Lover. How long after Abbott declares victory in Texas will his cheating be discovered, and will Beto be sworn in? Well, we got to be careful with what we say on here.
Yeah.
But it's funny, if Beto wins, they're going to say there was cheating. And if they win, they ain't going to say that.
Right. It's going to happen on a lot of these races, actually.
Correct.
It's going to be a circus for the next couple month or two.
I saw Beto in a high level government position. I thought he'd win as governor, but my guides just show me him in a high level government position. Now, some psychics, and I won't read on what other psychics do, but some say he'll win and some say he won't.
Yeah.
But I mean, everybody's got to get out to vote because we could easily lose these midterms. And my guides have been telling me that since day one.
Right. Well, and I think the interesting thing is I think a lot of these races, a lot of them are not set in stone. And that's why you're picking up, maybe I feel like Democrats might be doing a little bit better than Republicans or give them a little bit more of a shot. But that's not to say that we can be complacent and not go out and vote and not tell our friends and family to go out and vote because, the energy can very easily change.
And the other thing we could be hooking into, not knowing it, is telepathically. Not telepathy means thought transference. Is telepathically hooking into what the exit polls are saying or what the polls are saying,
right?
As opposed to the actual outcomes, because that can happen. And so, I do want to look at though Mehmet Oz, who killed 300 dogs in his research for his snake stuff. And I forget the guy that's running against him. You all can help me out. You can put it in the comment section.
John Fetterman's running against
Fetterman. That's right,
Pennsylvania.
I thought Fetterman did really well. Now they're showing that Mehmet, or however you say it. Oz backwards is zoo. So that's what I'm going to call it. No, that's an insult to the animals in the zoo.
Right.
Earthworm. Dog killer. Oh, I don't want to go to jail for that. That they're saying that he has taken the lead, but I don't know. I just didn't see Oz winning.
No.
What do you think, Kevin?
Well, I've already posted my Senate and governor races. I've been working on those the last 2 weeks, and I have them posted on my community board. I am going to check in the next couple of days a lot of these competitive races just to see if anything's changed. But I do feel Fetterman's going to win. And back to Beto real quick. When I first started reading on it a couple months ago, I felt like Beto would be cheated out of the opportunity. And, the last couple months, like the last month or two, as I've thrown on it from my show, I've really felt the energy change. Now, I just did my governor race predictions earlier this week, and I got yes for Beto winning. But I do think that it's still going to be so close that Abbott could still win. But if I'm going with my intuitive gut, I'm going to pick Beto. It's just how I feel.
Well, I pulled with Mehmet Oz and Fetterman. Okay, let me see. And he's not even a resident of the state that he's running in.
Right.
Well, he's going to, if Fetterman wins and Mehmet's going to say he didn't win, there's some slick stuff going on behind the scenes with Oz that I'm not trusting. But there's going to be a lot more coming out about Oz. So I don't know. If he wins, I'll be very, 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 very surprised. Because I keep seeing Oz moving. And so, but I don't know.
I feel pretty good about Fetterman in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I mean,
there's other ones that I feel like, it's like neck and neck. I think that Fetterman's going to win by a couple points. I don't think it's going to be a really, really narrow race.
I'm wondering about Georgia because if any of them, if the two running don't get 50%, then they have to have a runoff election. I got a funny feeling it might go to that.
Oh, and for Stacey Abrams too, the governor race in Georgia, I was picking up a runoff as well. Can I just click on a comment real quick?
Well, let me just, I just want to do this one that hold on to it, but more paper, please. Said she read that the Cherokee Nation is requesting fulfillment of a promised House seat in the House of Representatives. God bless this happens. I don't see it happening. I could be wrong, but I just don't. I don't see it's happening. Not this election, because
right, and it's a little close already for that.
That's right. Okay, Kevin, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You're fine. Well, it was just kind of going with what I'm saying, and I know that everybody's so nervous about this, but Lynn made the comment, so are we not going out to vote or not? Readers are not giving us a good feeling. Like I said, we're reading on the energy and where it feels like it may be going now, but that energy can always change. And like I said, a lot of these races, the winners are not set in stone. You know, some people, they are destined for this position. And, I feel like in those cases, yes. Um, but we can kind of change this free will, this timeline. Like I said before, I've always felt Beto as a senator is how I kind of pick it up. And just because he lost that race, maybe that wasn't that right time for him to be a senator, but in the future he will be one. So, so no, we're not saying this to discourage people. We're just saying we can't be complacent. We have to go out and vote because energies do change. I mean, I thought Hillary Clinton was going to win in 2016. If I would have put money on it, that's who I predicted was the winner. I mean,
Well,
technically,
actually, she did win.
right.
You're right.
But
She won the popular
we
vote.
had Trump, right? So,
And that's
so yeah.
another thing with presidential elections. So you have to be specific. Who wins the popular vote and who wins the electoral vote? So Hillary Clinton did win the popular vote. Okay, so Lynn, no, don't not vote based on what we say. Our whole idea to take this election is for everybody to get out and vote. Our democracy depends on that.
Right.
And some people just can't vote. I understand that. And if there's a medical reason why, I get that. But if you don't vote, then don't complain.
Well, and I'll just say too, on a positive note, just look what's happening with the early voting, the turnout. I mean, it's record breaking. So I think that that's a very good sign for Democrats. But, like I said, we can't get complacent. A lot of these races are going to be really close. And, a couple people decide they don't want to vote in this election could very well sway who's going to be that winner,
That's right. That's right. What if they won by 10 votes and you didn't vote?
So, I was getting a hit that one of these races, it might be by the tens, less than 100 votes for one of them.
That's correct.
So I guess we'll see if this election, if one of the Senate races or one of the House races is that close. But I feel
that means everybody has to get out and vote. Okay, this is a good one. Marianne Johnson. Yeah. Hi, Kevin and Mel. What do you see in New York 21st District? Elsie Stefanik, Republican, or Matt Castelli, Dem? I got my fingers crossed. Well, I pulled a card, and I got the 10 of Cups. And in celebration for Matt Castelli. So I'm kind of seeing that as a win for Castelli. I could be wrong, but I always say I could be wrong.
I've read on it before, and I did feel like I think that district is pretty red or leans red. I didn't have the best feeling. I felt like it was going to be competitive more so than what it normally would be, but that Stefanik's would probably win. But I've seen Matt Castelli on MSNBC, and he's got a real like glow around him where I feel like he definitely has a future in the Democratic Party.
When but you I'll throw a couple cards on it. I pulled a card from Matt Castelli and it said the world. I got the world.
Oh, I love that. The beginning of end of a cycle, beginning of a new one.
Correct. New cycles. Let me just throw a card. I got both my decks going here warmed up tonight. The regular deck playing cards are hard. It took me years to learn to do these. Well, for Castelli, I see a change of residence.
I do think he's new to that residence for that area.
I'm sorry?
I think he's new to that area.
Okay. There we go. I pulled the 9 of diamonds, which means great joy. Then I asked what would happen with Elsie Stefanik, and I pulled the Joker.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel good about him. I don't know what the polls are showing. I'm not looking.
Yeah. I definitely see momentum towards Matt. So I think that, like I said, I feel like it's going to be a close race, and it's going to be a lot more competitive than that district normally is. Page of Rods. So trying to head that district in a new direction. Um, there's some kind of information coming out. It could be about him or Elise, but ultimately I have the Emperor. So I do think that the momentum's there, but I do think that that race is going to be really, really close.
Lindy says it's all depressing, Jamie. Stay with the kids. I don't know what's depressing, but don't let this election depress you. Everybody get out and vote because the Democrats can win.
Mm-hmm. Well, right. And like you said, we're not trying to be doom and gloom. If anything, I've been telling people to shut off the news. Don't listen to the polls because I do feel the polls are very skewed. And, we don't want to sit in that fear or anger. We don't want to attract more things that are going to make us fearful. Just trying to find that calm and peace and that center and sitting in that love and manifesting that. Use that fear and that anger as a motivator to get other people and yourself out to vote. And you know what? God forbid the Republicans did take the House, which I'm not saying I'm seeing that, but
there's nothing they can do because if the Democrats hold the Senate, then anything they try to do, it'll be blocked in the Senate.
Right.
And then, Biden can always veto it. So,
but I'm just saying we'll get through it. I mean, we lived through Trump. Not to say that it's not scary, but let's really try to raise those vibrations and rise above that fear. I think that's very important.
We have Joel Tilson saying hello from snowy Cheyenne, Wyoming. In Chicago, it was like 65 degrees today, which is unheard of for November. So everybody get out and vote because your vote, when the Democrats win, means saving the planet with this accelerating climate change.
Mm-hmm.
It, keeping our rights. And by the way, back on Roe v. Wade, I see that being upheld at some point. It'll be codified. Or codified, however you say it.
And I feel like it's going to happen next year. I feel a lot of things happening next year. So to me, that's not going to happen if Republicans take the House. So I do think the House is going to be pretty close. But that's why we're saying, we can't get complacent or, listen to all of these readers and that say Democrats are going to win landslide. And
well, I never saw a landslide.
Right. That's what I'm saying, though. We can't get complacent with that. It's very important.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to go vote. I haven't yet, but I intend to.
Mm-hmm.
Mimi, hi, Melon, Kevin, love you both. Oh, she's getting an endoscope tomorrow under General. You know what? I've had endoscopes. I don't like to answer questions like this, but don't worry about it. Your work on the planet is not done, Mimi.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to go smooth.
Aries Wanderer, I love the Aloha shirt. Thank you. Well, thanks to Jinlin Shumsky, who's from Hawaii. Hawaii is how you say it originally, but she lives in Fort Worth. Poor thing, in Fort Worth, not Hawaii. And she sent this to me. So along with all kinds of wonderful vitamins, and so thank you again. All righty, Teresa, Kevin, and Mel, and everyone. You all, I didn't post on my Facebook page until later on tonight, so I apologize. It's been a crazy week, but we'll get there.
Yeah. Hold on just 1 second because my computer's like froze.
Okay.
I keep getting these email updates, and I'm not sure why I'm getting them now. Yes, let's stay out of the negative energy. We're going to be okay.
I'm scrolling through things here. Everybody, please hit the thumbs up button. That's right. And subscribe to Kevin's channel. Then go over and subscribe to mine.
Yeah.
I've got 17,000. And when I get to 20, I took Kevin's idea. I'm going to have a 20,000 party.
Oh, yes. I'm having my 5,000 subscriber celebration for my channel on Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. And we have some wonderful guests coming. Mel will be one. So I'm very excited about that.
And who tell them about our Tarot friend, because she is having a birthday party that a lot of the readers are going to be dropping in for.
Yes, Leanne's having a birthday party on this coming Sunday, the 6th. I think it's 6 p.m. Central. So come to both of our shows. Like I said, don't stay and watch the news all day. I know it's scary, but let's go have a fun time and raise those vibrations. Envision that blue wave as mountain dancer said.
Exactly. Yeah, hers is on Saturday, right at 6 o'clock, I think.
It's Sunday at 6. Yep.
Oh, Sunday at 6. That's Central Standard Time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I'll be there, probably from my
I
office.
will be too.
Okay. Tor call 47. Well, 45 tried to leave the country after the midterms. Well, he can leave the country. It's just the question is, will he come back?
I've always felt like that is a backup plan for him, but I don't see him actually doing it, leaving the
But
country.
I still see him under indictment because you know
Oh,
what?
yeah.
The midterms are kind of shrouding everything going on with Trump.
Wait
And
until after the midterms. I guarantee you, very shortly after the midterms, he's going to be indicted.
There is a lot coming out. There is a lot coming out.
Mm-hmm.
With indictments. And, you know, the thing is, when Merrick Garland hired a new prosecutor to look at the document thing with Trump, I heard Lynn Kirshner say this. That means that they're really investigating it, and that means there's going to be indictments coming down.
Oh, yeah. I don't think it's too far off. I've been saying
that.
that.
Told me that there were like 2 or 3 members of his staff there that told them that those things were there. And so, I mean, I think people had already reported that documents were missing, but it would be like, but his house staff, because I think behind the scenes they asked him about it, he says, I don't know what you're talking about, or however he said it. But he would, but these people in his house staff then reported them that they're there, the documents are there. Which is kind of frightening, because if they saw those documents there, how many people read those, and how many people saw our nuclear secrets and our operatives and all of that? It's very scary.
Yeah. And you know, I feel like he's being watched so closely. I don't think he'd be able to anyway. But I feel Trump being indicted with, I feel like a couple people indicted, and then like next year, like maybe beginning of next year or early spring, I feel like a bigger group of people will be indicted around Trump.
I think so too. That's okay. Let's see. Here's a good one. Okay. MS Steve, will any losing Republicans actually concede? A few of them will. They'll do what they're supposed to do. But the conspiracy theorists, Trumplican ones, oh my God, they're going to raise a stink that you could hear from here all the way around the world.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
It's really going to be quite ugly, I think, the month of November.
Oh, I just got one that came through my iPhone. I don't see it here in these comments, but Boracura 405, will Puerto Rico become a state? And you know, I've always said that Puerto Rico would be our 51st state. And at some point, I think the U.S. Virgin Islands will be a state as well.
I see D.C. getting statehood too.
Yes. So that's 3 new states. Yay. And at some point, Guam.
Okay.
So
yeah, it feels like I don't know which one will come first, but I feel most strongly like with Puerto Rico and DC. So one of those two, I think, will be the first one that they give statehood to. And it doesn't feel like it's too far out. Maybe a couple of years.
Puerto Rico, yo creo que sí. I said Puerto Rico, I think yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, this is good. Carrie H. Oh, yay, Carrie. Thank you for sharing this. We had a record number of early voters in 2018. This year, we're already beating the 2018 voters. Yay.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. We're getting record early voting turnout. So, you know, try not to get discouraged. I do think the polling's off. And when people vote, it typically favors Democrats when we have high turnout.
Oh, Ted Williams, this is good. Isn't Jenny Thomas considered a gift to the Dems in the long run? Absolutely. You know what, Ted? I'm glad you brought that up, because sometimes what seems to be a curse is really a blessing. And you know, my favorite saying about with that whole Trump stuff and him being indicted and looks like he's Teflon's nothing sticking, just because it looks like they're winning the battle, I'm talking about the Trumplicans, does not mean they will win the war. They will not win the war.
Right.
They will not. They like all this anarchy. They like all this fear. They want that. And I got a funny feeling Putin's got his fingers in a lot of this stuff too.
Oh, absolutely. So, and I feel like next year, so much is going to be exposed about that. I really do.
Okay,
And
here's
isn't it interesting too now that Trump's attorney Eastman have emails about him saying how they hoped that Clarence Thomas would be the one um, to help Trump stay in power, and I think if that doesn't show their guilt, him and his wife's guilt, and you trying to destroy our democracy.
well,
Um,
Thomas put a stay on Lindsey Graham testifying, but
mhm.
the court said no, he has to testify. So
No, I'm talking about Eastman, his
no,
email.
I know, I get that, but I'm talking about Clarence Thomas. So it was like Clarence,
Mhm.
bend over, Clarence,
Right.
Uh, so I'm sorry. Finish about Eastman. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying, I see that scandal really catching up to Thomas, and I mean, you have both said that we feel he will probably be the next one to leave, and it's not too far out there. I feel like it's probably
And
next year.
I think Eastman's going to be under indictment.
Oh yeah, I do too.
Crazy Shark 22. I like that. Will the results of the midterm be the biggest shocker? Yeah,
I
and the
think
bad
so.
for the Republicans.
I see some shocking results. Um, when I was doing my predictions, one that really stood out and really shocked me for the Senate is I saw Chuck Grassley being defeated, and what's it? I can't remember. Is it Michael Franken winning in Iowa? I think
What?
it's Michael Franken is running against Chuck Grassley, and I saw him winning. And Iowa was never on my radar for anything turning blue.
I don't see. Somebody's asking about Virginia, Elaine Luria and Jen Kiggins. I don't know who they. I don't know about that. I don't know who they are. I can Google it real quick.
Okay.
Elaine Luria. Hold on, give me 1 second. Here, I'll put this up. Okay.
All right.
Elaine Luria. ELAINE LURIA. Elaine Luria. Okay.
Joel,
And
I think that some of the results are going to look good for Democrats next Wednesday morning, but I really think it's going to be a hell of a week next week. I think a lot of the results we won't know next week.
I'm just oh, we won't know for a while, and everybody's going to be like biting their nails. And who's that? James. He's a bald-headed man, and he always comes on around the time of elections. I think he was Clinton's campaign manager, James
Yeah,
Carville.
Carval.
And I'm going to say what he said. We're not. You're right, Kevin. We're going to have to wait for some of those results.
Oh
But
yeah.
it's like he said, everybody, put your razors back on the top shelf. And don't slice your wrist yet.
Right.
But myself too, I'll be biting my nails. All right. So, okay, hold on. I feel like the Democrat will win, and that would be Elaine Luria. She's
Yeah,
a
I
Democrat.
think she's in the January 6th committee. I feel pretty good about her too.
Yep.
I'm gonna throw a card for it though.
There's a lot of talking behind her back to discredit her, but I see her winning.
That's victory momentum.
I'm sorry.
So this is victory momentum for Elaine Luria. So I think she's gonna win.
Let me Google the other one just to see. Jen Kiggins, right? Oh, I don't know. I'm looking at her. Okay. Oh, Kiggins is a Republican. All right. I think people are still people tend to vote on economy, but it
Hmm.
looks like they're really butting heads about abortion. So
Oh yeah, I see women coming out and really voting, and even some Republican women being really upset about the Roe v. Wade. Um, young women and young voter turnout being up very high in this midterms, and I think that's why we're seeing the record-breaking turnout, not just for Roe v. Wade, but also Republicans trying to get rid of the student loan forgiveness. And I see our democracy being at stake, really getting people out to vote. For
Well, go ahead.
for Jen Kiggins, I got the Knight of Pentacles. So this race might take a little while to count. It might be a little bit close. This is more of like a slow moving energy, and then a loss. So I feel pretty good about Elaine Luria.
Well, here's the thing. I just read about Kagan. She's talking about gas prices and this and that. Okay. Well, everybody knew when we, stopped trading with Russia that gas prices would go up. But a lot of it's
Mhm.
price gouging.
Yes,
And the
I
Republicans haven't mentioned that part. All right. Now, this Kiggins is saying she's going to do something about gas prices. Wrong. She has about as much ability to control gas prices as I do to build a rocket to put a man on the moon. Not.
It's so interesting too that a couple months before the election is when gas prices and inflation goes out of control, isn't it? Because I feel well, we already know with OPEC and Saudi reducing that. We know that Trump and Saudi have that connection. So I definitely feel like it was to sabotage Biden and the Democrats. Then we have a lot of these big corporations that aren't happy because there's a 15% corporate tax. So they're going to, raise prices of everything and get record-breaking profits.
They've
So
made
it's
record
all to
breaking.
hurt Democrats so that they they win
They've
or so
made
that they
record
lose.
breaking profits. They all have. And it's
Hmm.
funny that don't you think it's odd that the Republicans all of a sudden start talking about violence? And they're the ones that didn't want to put through gun control after all these shootings.
Hmm.
They're the ones that were
Right.
anti-vaxxers. People don't have to wear a mask. They let people die. And now they're talking about the economy. Hello. Donald Trump spent more money than any president in American history. And when he
Right.
took office, things were good. But what we're feeling right now is a tidal wave of the crap that
Hmm.
Donald Trump created. So the Republicans can holler about economics all they want, but they don't have a clue. They're the first one to cut Social Security, which they say is an entitlement. It is not.
Right.
They're the first to want to cut Medicare, cut everything. Well, guess what? If the economy is not that bad, inflation's up. I get that,
Yeah.
but a lot of it is due to the price gouging. And
Hmm.
so,
I
um,
mean, our unemployment rate is still very, very low.
that's right. And the economy's good, actually.
Hmm.
Mimi Rose, we love Fetterman in Pennsylvania. We love
Yeah.
him here in Chicago too, and in Ohio too. Oz is not in the lead. That is a lie, Mel. Okay, Mimi, I heard it on MSNBC. So that Oz had taken a little bit of the lead. That's where I heard it. I think it was last night or the night before.
Hmm. Well, they're
So
going off this polling, which I feel is very skewed to the Republicans, and I feel like a big part of that is with the polling they ask likely voters who they're going to vote for. But I think what's going to really change that is I see a lot of people that don't typically vote really coming out for the Roe v. Wade.
well, a lot of young people are going to
That
vote,
too.
college students, a lot of minorities, a lot of LGBTQ. We're the ones that are going to change the outcome of this election.
Hmm.
I mean, I wasn't saying that Oz would win. I was just saying that
The
that
poll you
they
saw.
said on TV.
Hmm.
But I did pull another card and I asked again, and I got the three of spades. And the three of spades would mean I'm talking about for Fetterman, phenomenal luck, a great abundance, high honors. I look at that as a win.
Yeah, I feel pretty good about Fetterman.
So do I.
Hmm.
If anybody that had any moral compass at all, when Oz made fun of him and called him weak because he had a stroke, I mean, if Oz had had a stroke of that magnitude, he wouldn't even be up walking or talking.
Right.
He'd be taking a snake oil medicine, hoping it would do something. But Fetterman, I think, is doing amazingly well. I think Fetterman forgot more than Oz ever knew.
I think Fetterman is a really kind of unique candidate. I think he really resonates with working class voters. I mean, you'll see him out there, like in a hoodie and in shorts, like not like all ritzy and all of that. I think a lot of working class people really relate to John Fetterman. I think he's a great candidate for Pennsylvania.
Um, okay. Carrie G, when will the Satan scandal come out? I think it's already started.
Mm.
I really do.
And its timing's always kind of hard. The energy's kind of changed to actually pinpoint it. But I don't feel like it's very far out there, Carrie. I was really hoping that the scandal would come out before the election. I've said it with you many times. There's definitely a connection between DeSantis and Gates, and I definitely feel that coming out.
Oh, it's going to come out, absolutely. And a lot more about Abbott and DeSantis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, okay. Perth Girl 00. Hi, boys. Just tuned into your wonderful show on Friday. Oh, that's right. On Friday morning from Western Australia, because it's already the next day there. Keep up the great work. Hello, Australia. Yay. We love Australia.
I've never been. I've always wanted to go.
Yeah, I've never been either, but I told Gary we need to take a trip. He's been, but I've never been. I want to go. I want to see the outback. It's huge.
Yeah.
Australia is bigger land-wise than the United States. It's a huge continent, but they're starting their spring. They're in their spring right now. So, all right. Let's see.
Cinda makes a good point. She says, I'm 76 years old and I've never been polled in my entire life. I have never been polled who I will vote for either. So
I'm sorry. She said what? I couldn't hear what you said.
She's let me see. That she's 76 and she's never been polled on who she's going to vote for in her entire life. And I've never been asked or polled who I would vote for.
Wait, who asked her that question?
No, it's not a question. She's just making a statement. She says, I'm 76 years old and I've never been polled in my entire life. I think she means
polled.
Right.
Polled meaning people are asking her who she's voting for?
Yeah. Like,
I see on the polls. I got you. Gotcha. Well, when I get those calls, I won't answer them. I hang up. I refuse because who I vote for is nobody's business.
Right.
Except I'm telling the whole world I'm voting straight Democrat, okay? All right.
Let's see.
Oh, here, Daryl Phillips. Beware of the latest polling. There are a lot of Republican pollsters playing. I believe that. I do believe that. Okay. Carrie H. Oh, this is cool. My husband and I voted last Friday in Illinois. You go, girl. Straight blue, of course. Yay. Everybody vote.
Thank you for voting.
Rose said Oz is not going to win, Mel. I know, Mimi. I've been saying he's not going to win. I didn't say he'd win. I just said that the polls showed what MSNBC said that Oz had taken a slight lead. So don't be mad at me, Mimi. I still see Fetterman winning. All right.
Yes. Stop listening to the news. It just brings us all down.
No, maybe we should listen to the news and get mad enough and go vote.
Well, that too, but
okay.
The polls really haven't been very good since Obama, if you want my opinion.
Well, here's a good one, Midas Touch, and that's I love that.
I like Midas Touch
all the
too.
time. Did a great video about Democrats leading in the early voting polling by several points. Great video, please watch. So more paper, please. Good, thank you. All right. All right. Okay, Gail Swift Fernandez. In the race, Marjorie Taylor Greene versus Marcus Flowers, who will win? I got a funny feeling Marjorie Taylor Greene might win that one. I could be wrong.
I'll throw a card for each of them, but I feel like that district is extremely red, and they like MTG. As crazy as that sounds, I don't know how anybody can like her, but I've always said too, come next year when a lot of these investigations really come out, I see her in a crap load of trouble for the insurrection, January 6th.
I've always seen her being indicted. You and I have said it since day one. So even if she wins, I don't know if she would fulfill the whole 2 years.
No, I don't feel that. I feel like she'll be removed next year. I feel like she may spend some time behind bars.
Couldn't happen to a better person. Okay.
Yeah. MTG, as we all know, is that bully. And Marcus Flowers, he's trapped. He's restricted. Um, I feel like it's going to probably be MTG winning that seat.
Okay, MSD, we'll be happy hearing the overall results. We'll still have the Dems keeping the House and the Senate. Interesting. Well, my feeling is if everybody gets out and votes, yeah, the Dems will keep the House and the Senate. But the House will be, and Kevin, you said this, just very narrow. Very narrow.
I feel Democrats are going to have more gains in the Senate, but the House, I feel it's going to go to the Democrats, but just very narrowly.
Okay, so Booker or Rand Paul? I call him Brillo Head, Rand Paul in Kentucky.
When I read on this 2 weeks ago, and I've read on it before, and I felt pretty good about Booker, but when I read on it 2 weeks ago, I felt like it would be Rand Paul.
That's what I picked up. I said that on Monday, and I've been kind of saying it all along. But I still see Rand Paul in trouble too. Politically, he's going to be dog meat. So
I'm going to throw a card for both.
But Kentucky has a Democratic governor, and he's really a good governor.
Yeah.
I was down there, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and even a lot of the Republicans I talked to, like Andy Bashir, I think. His father was governor.
Yeah.
Before, and he's a good governor.
Yeah, I feel obviously we have the double come out for Rand Paul, and he's working really hard. He's got a plan to win. But I do think that Booker will do better than expected for that state because women are coming out. I don't know. I just intuitively I feel like it's going to be Paul at the moment, but I'm going to relook at a lot of these close races and give any updates by next Tuesday's show.
All right. Mimi Rose, Linda G will get it right. Dems will win. We didn't say they wouldn't win. All we said was my guides have shown me from the beginning it could change. But if everybody gets out and votes, the Dems will win. It's important to vote.
Mm-hmm. Mel, scroll down on StreamYard towards the bottom because I think that you're picking up her questions from
Oh, I'm sorry. I
think she was just saying that when we were reading.
Oh, I got it. I apologize.
Okay.
But I keep want to reiterate.
Yeah.
Everybody get out and vote. Okay.
Let's look at Mandela Barnes in Wisconsin.
Mandela Barnes in Wisconsin.
He's running against Ron Johnson. Do you know who that is?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I felt Mandela Barnes would win.
Mm-hmm.
Ron Johnson, I've
seen it. I think it was about a year ago. I saw Johnson leaving, and I feel really good about Mandela Barnes.
Joel Tilson said Ron Johnson is going. Mimi, I'm sorry, I wasn't going off on you. I'm just new to this whole StreamYard thing and moderating, and I'm trying to follow the chat.
It's hard. It's definitely. I think a lot of us make it look a lot easier than what it is with following the chat.
And by the way, Mimi, you're one of the winners again when I got to 17,000.
Oh, nice.
And I pull names, I just keep the same names in there. So Mimi, you want another half-hour reading free with me. So your luck's changing, girlfriend.
That's awesome. She won a reading with me right after she won one with you the first time. And then she won a reading with somebody else. I don't remember who.
So we keep the same names in there. So, I mean, we add more. We just mix them up. So there you go. All right. Sorry, Mimi. I wasn't going off on you. I promise. But thank you, because I'm glad I was behind, because I want to keep telling everybody to get out and vote. All right. Mimi's a nice lady. I really, really like her. Nice. She's got everybody. Mimi has got the most wonderful, wonderful, wonderful energy. She's just a nice lady. I mean, everybody I've read on here has been nice. So
Yes. Maybe needs to play the Powerball. Yes.
somebody says you're preaching to the wrong crowd, Mel. I don't know what they mean by that.
I just threw a couple cards for Mandela Barnes. I do feel like maybe some of the funding he's gotten, like he could definitely use some more. But then wishes being fulfilled. For Ron Johnson, it's really interesting because he was one of those senators that went over to Russia. The Empress is Mother Russia for me in my deck, and not taking money. So it's interesting that this is coming out in his cards because I've always felt he'll have trouble in the future because of that. So I'm gonna give it to Mandela Barnes. I still feel good about his chances. Okay.
Oh, this was a good one. I like this. C. Douglas, I'm an immigrant citizen to the U.S. So you're a citizen. You're as American as we all are. Will someone explain to me why people will vote for Dem governor president but vote repeat for senators? I think, well, a lot of times the midterms are a bellwether of
Mm-hmm.
what people are feeling. And it's so.
I think it depends too because I think some independents that don't have a party affiliation are open to either party, so they might vote, you know,
Right.
Democrat for governor, Republican for senator. Um, and I feel some Republicans may be doing this, especially with the extreme MAGA candidates, where like they don't, it turns them off to vote for somebody like that, but they're still Republicans. So, um, I mean, look at like Pennsylvania, Mastriano's running for governor um, against Josh Shapiro. They might be really turned off by Mastriano, but could somehow vote for Oz, you know. But I don't think that there's a lot of people splitting tickets. All right.
Okay. I don't know. Oh, I got to get back to the comments here. Kevin, I sent you a message.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Did you get it?
yeah.
All right. Because, you got to forgive me, you all. I sent him a message because this is the first time I've ever helped host. And I think I'm screwing things up. So I was like, Kevin, am I really screwing things up as bad as I think I am?
No, you're fine. It takes practice. I mean, like I said, it's hard because you want to go through the chat, and a lot of times we have 500 people watching, so people are commenting. It goes by really quick, so it's sometimes hard to keep up with it.
It is. So Nova Lunatica, I know a lot of people that swing from party to party looking for change, but not understanding how policy is implemented. So for the last person that's a citizen here in the United States, I think she did a good job of answering your question. Okay.
All right.
Somebody says, Mimi, you're on a roll. Mimi's always on a roll. Got it. All right.
Sasha, I'm hosting the show. I just made Mel an administrative so he can kind of see how it goes because he's interested in using StreamYard to go live.
Yeah, I mean, you should be You should be doing a dry run. We did do a dry runner practice, but still, when it's your first time doing it, it's one thing to do a dry run on a practice, but when you're really doing it, because you can't practice because there's nobody in the chat room. So when you're first time doing it, it's like.
I think you're doing just fine, Mel. It just takes some time. What's the energy around CNN? Are they really turning right now? I do feel CNN's turning right.
Sweet and Salty said, you're doing great, Mel, better than I could.
Right.
I don't know. We'll make you moderator, girlfriend. You can try it out.
What's your feelings on CNN? Do you feel them making heading more from like center to the right? I think they want to try to get a lot of the Fox News people.
I think in them trying to be fair, it looks as if they're going more toward the right, but I think it's trying to be fair. Okay. But they still have people there like Anderson Cooper, who is a very excellent journalist, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And so, he calls a spade a spade.
But
And
I feel with a lot of their shows, they are getting rid of a lot of um, people and putting more right wing people in those shows. So I think maybe right now it's a little bit balanced, but I do feel like they're going to continue to put more right wing shows in.
yeah, but that's going to bite them in the butt.
I
And
agree.
figure out that's not working. And so, anyway. Oh, this is good. Ted Williams. Ted Williams. Oh, here you go, Ted. I like this. Biden will appoint three Supreme jurists. Yes, I've always said that. The answer is yes. I don't know when, but it will happen.
I'm feeling at least 2 more replacements within his first term. I feel Clarence is leaving, and I think it's Kavanaugh, but oftentimes I've kind of felt good about Roberts too. Like he may have some health issues coming up.
What do you see for News Nation? CC from Texas wants to know where Cuomo is now. I've never watched News Nation. I take it there
either, but I'm not getting like a really strong like feeling about it either. So,
well, but I think though, at some point they're going to build momentum and end up doing exceptionally well. So, but they're not Republican. They're Democratic, right?
I have no idea.
I think so.
I've never heard of News Nation, but like I said too, I don't feel like it's going to be anything like CNN or Fox or MSNBC.
But what I think is going to happen is a lot of the major networks are going to start having problems because all these streaming things are going to start taking over.
Yeah.
Let me see. News Nation. Chris Cuomo's on there.
Libra Love says News Nation is Republican, very right wing.
I'm sorry?
Libra Love says News Nation is Republican, very right wing.
Then why would Cuomo be there?
I don't know.
I did not know that. Let me just ask something. Is News Nation? Hold on 1 second.
Well, that's interesting because my first card out, I got the devil for News Nation. So.
News Nation Prime. It's broadcast from Chicago, actually. I didn't know that.
I'm not really getting great cards for them. I see a lot of disappointment, and yeah, they're not going to be huge. You know, they have the Hermit, so that's kind of like solitude, not a lot of viewers. And there's money crossing them.
It comes from WGN Studios here in Chicago. I know exactly where that's at.
I'm not really. I feel like they're going to have some money issues, and I don't see it really going anywhere. Is what I'm picking up.
I'm trying to figure out here. Oh no, CNN, which had previously shown straight news programming during the evening, moved. You know what? I don't know. Electoral politics. I just don't know.
Sweet and Salty says Twitter is losing subscribers fast. Yeah, Twitter's.
Oh, there's a new thing coming out. You know what? There's a new thing coming out that's kind of like a Twitter somebody started. And when I can't think of the name of it, but Twitter is going to lose subscribers like
I think
the wazoo. And I think this new thing coming out is going to end up doing much, much better than Twitter.
I know people in the chat now. I've never used Twitter. Was one of them called Tidal or something like that? I haven't heard good things about that, but then I've heard of Blue Sky coming in, and I feel pretty good about Blue Sky. Tribals is where some people went.
I don't know what it is, but you know, I didn't think Elon Musk would end up owning Twitter, but I was wrong about that. But you know what? I don't think he's going to own it for long because it's going to run in the ground. Then he's going to want to try to dump it. And he's going to take a huge financial loss on this. Huge.
I agree.
And I don't know. I'm still looking for this News Nation, so I don't know. I can't tell what it is.
I don't know. I just don't feel a lot
It
of
says here
success
they take.
for it.
It says they take all sides, so I don't know.
Mm.
I'll have to watch it and see. But Chris Cuomo's, you're right. Oh, you're right. I just checked it. Okay. So Chris Cuomo's News Nation debut lands at the bottom of the ratings heap. So it didn't do very well.
Mm.
Anyway.
Yeah, I'm not feeling anything big for it. I feel some money problems for him.
But I do see another network coming out, but it's going to be like streaming. That's going to be like, more on our side. Will be fair reporting, but more on our side, and we'll do extremely, extremely well.
Okay.
And I see a lot of competition coming for Twitter as well. Those are two separate issues, right? So
there's a new one coming out called Blue Sky. I don't think they've launched yet because people are on waiting lists for that. But I haven't heard the best things from Tribal either. I think there's a lot of Trumpers on it.
Oh, this is good.
Mm-hmm.
Andrea D. RN. Let me just say one thing about medical personnel. I'm talking about doctors, RNs, nurse practitioners, physicians' assistants, personal care technicians, everybody in medicine. They are the unsung heroes of this country, specifically during COVID.
Yeah.
And look at how the Republicans treated them. It was awful. So, you know what, Andrea? You guys just do a phenomenal job, and I think you should be the highest paid and most respected people on the planet. So, so some of these people that were talking and bad mouthing doctors and nurses and this and that during COVID, those are the people that saved a lot of people's lives.
Yeah.
So, okay. I like this, Andrea. Thank you. Keep up the good work, girlfriend. I live in a smaller county in Arkansas. A lot of people are voting for Dr. Chris Jones, MIT rocket scientist. Yay. For governor over Sarah Huckabee Sanders, but don't want their family members to know.
I just read on this. I feel like Arkansas is extremely red, but I do feel it would make sense because I do feel like the Democrats going to do much better than expected in that kind of state. But I feel Sarah Huckabee Sanders is going to win, unfortunately.
Yeah, but he's going to give her a run for her money.
Yeah.
She's got to take those pearls off.
Sorry for anybody living in Arkansas that's watching.
Well, you know what? I will pray, though. I will pray that Dr. Jones wins. All right. Oh, this is good. More paper, please. I like this. Thank you. She says, hopefully we stop fair and return to right and wrong. Very good.
Yeah.
Well, I do think a lot of people are calling out the wrong. But I agree that we need to really be on that like white on rice.
I feel after these midterms, or maybe it's 2024, it doesn't feel like it's too far off, where the government's going to come in and you're not going to be allowed to claim that you're a news station and promote conspiracy theories or dangerous rhetoric, or allow social media companies to not fact check things before they post it.
What will happen with Donna? Cianciosi. That's how you say it in Italian. Cianciosi. What will happen when the Murdoch family, within the Murdoch family, once dear Rupert kicks the bucket? Well, I see big changes coming at that network, let me tell you. At some point, I think that network is going to be for sale, at least the news portion. So
you're talking about Fox. You were just breaking up on my end, so I didn't hear.
Yeah, I didn't want to say their name, but I think when Rupert kicks, if you will, I see huge changes coming at that network. And I got a funny feeling at some point that the news portion will be sold, but I see a lot of lawsuits against them because of the hyperbole that they supposedly engaged in.
I'm using
words very carefully.
Yeah. I feel like after you know, Ripper passes, I think one of his sons is going to take over. They're going to have so many lawsuits and really lose a lot of money. I really see them rebranding, and I think that they're going to come much more into the middle.
Okay, Libra Love says the nation is Republican, very right wing. All right, I'll take her word for it.
Mm-hmm.
Colleen says big money. Excuse me, backseas news outlets. I watch the cooking channel. I like the cooking channel.
I do too.
I learn a lot.
I really like.
You just Google how to do it, and boy, you get a lot.
I like the cooking channel, and I like if there's nothing on TV, like watching HGTV and just watching them flip homes and design it.
Brenda, I'll bet you I did have them confused with Newsmax. You're right. I apologize. Okay. Daryl Phillips. Daryl Phillips. I have to check into this. He said Biden doesn't have the power to expand the Supreme Court. Only Congress has that power. But I think what the question is, will we have enough people in the Senate to be able to do that?
Mm-hmm.
Or in the Congress to do that? And at some point, I say yes. But I still see 2 justices, possibly 3, off the court.
Mm-hmm. And I felt like they may eventually add more justices. I have felt that before. What are you
saying? People are saying blue sky. Okay, yeah, that's the one I was talking about. I think it's the competition with Twitter, I think. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I'll check.
Right. So, how do you feel like what they're going to do to churches that participate in politics? Do you feel like they're going to tax them in the future?
Well, at some point, what's going to happen is they're going to say, separation of church and state. Now, the repubes say this country wasn't founded on that. Oh, yes, it was.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what the government's going to say is, if you all are going to engage in politics from the pulpit, you're going to lose your tax-free status, and you're going to have to pay tax on all this money you're raking in. And so they're going to have to like be very careful about that. Now, the church is going to say freedom of speech. Well, nobody is, and if it goes to the Supreme Court at some point, which it will, nobody is saying that they can't say what they need to say. Mm-hmm. They can. All they're saying, all the government's going to say is, if you're engaging in politics, okay, you're going to lose your tax exempt status. And so I think, the ultra Christian right would take that to the Supreme Court, saying that the government's trying to restrict their freedom of speech, but the Supreme Court will say, no, they're not. You can say whatever you want. Mm-hmm. You just.
I feel like this is going to happen in 2024, and I really see them making a lot of changes. What is it? Citizens United, where corporations can send all this money to politicians and pretty much buy them. I don't see that being allowed anymore. But it feels like it's a couple years out. I think that this is going with that.
I think that newest thing, the competition to Twitter, is Blue Sky, because here, Brenda Robbins, I'm on a waiting list for Blue Sky. Well, I'm going to go on and put my name on the waiting list too.
All right.
Okay.
Let's do a couple more. We've been at about an hour.
I just got a text from Linda Grindle. Can't say that. Oh, this is funny. I just got a text from Linda Grindle. Kevin had texted me to ask Linda to come on tonight, and I did, but I don't know if Linda got my text. Linda, if you're watching, hi, sweetie, we love you. But we want to have Linda on,
yes,
as a collab, not a 3-way. That's for you, Linda.
Somebody was saying that in the comments too, because I said that the 3 of us may be on today. I think Linda's going to be on Saturday as one of the surprise guests. but we'll definitely do a collab.
It's not a surprise now.
I'm not that worried about it, but um, so Linda will be on Saturday with us. I'm excited. No three ways, right, Connie?
Well, that's not quite what the message said.
Right.
She is the most funny person
Mhm.
on the planet. She makes me laugh. I kind of play straight man to her, even though I'm gay. I don't mean that kind of straight man. Kind of the setup for the jokes. Anyway.
How do you I saw this earlier, but people are wanting to know about Melania. When is she leaving Orange Menace and taking Baron with her? I feel like they may separate next year when all the lawsuits really come. And I've always felt like her and Baron going overseas, maybe to like Italy or something like that.
This is funny. All right, I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention.
You're okay. Do you get a hit on Melania and when she's going to leave Trump?
Well, it's not tomorrow at 2:30, but I'm sure that she will make handsome sums of money to keep her mouth shut.
Well, she'll leave before he's penniless.
I'm sorry?
So she'll leave before he's penniless. He's got a lot of big, Letitia James in New York and the IRS coming after him and his business. So,
okay.
We have 2 more questions to finish up with, if that's okay, Mo.
That's fine.
All right. What do you feel about Katie Porter against Scott Beige or Beg? They're in
Scott Bow or whatever.
Yeah.
I think Katie Porter's going to win. I'd pick up a win on that.
For Katie?
Right.
Yeah. I feel pretty good about Katie. I'm just going to throw a card for each of them. I definitely feel a big future in politics for Katie Porter.
So do I, actually.
I really like her.
While you're looking at that, DM says breaking news: Elon Musk has started mass layoffs at Twitter. The decline has started. Yeah, well.
Yeah. Twitter's going to get ran into the ground. And, with the cards that I threw, I do feel like Katie Porter is going to win. She's got the lovers. So that's people, that partnership, people choosing her. However, I do think it might be a little bit close. It's definitely a bit of a fight with the guy that she's running against. He's coming through as the King of Swords, and there's some burdens and stress over it. But ultimately, I think Katie's going to win.
Okay.
All right. One last one, Mel.
Well, Jay Roberts just sent you $9.99.
So. Thank you so much, Jay Roberts. I really appreciate that. Sorry, I'm not keeping up with the chat.
So you get a super sticker.
Thank you. Thank you. Blessings, Jay Roberts.
Aspie Third, I said, miss it all again. But, right now it's just for subscribers. But after we're done, Kevin will put it on and you can pick it up on YouTube. You'll pick up the rerun.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Okay.
What do you feel about suburban women? Are they voting Republican because of the economy?
Well, I think a lot of Republican women are hopping mad about Roe v. Wade, and they're going to remember that. Cold Toast just gave you $10.
Thank you so much, Cold Toast.
So my feeling is they're going to be hopping mad because of Roe v. Wade. And so I think a lot of them will end up voting Democrat because of that.
I do see some women, though, in the suburbs voting Republican because of the economy. And typically I feel like that's how people vote, is based on how the economy is doing. And if they're a party that they typically vote for.
I don't think all of them are going to vote. I don't think all Republican women are going to vote Democratic.
Right.
but I think many of them will.
I agree.
Um,
Um, but for that question, I feel like some will vote because of the economy. But yeah, a lot of women are very mad, like Mel said. You know, trying to take away their rights and treating women like they're second class citizens. They can't even have control over their own body.
correct.
So, all
Which I
right.
don't get that, like, because the repubes are so male oriented, but yet they have women in Congress, and then those Republican women that are Trumplicans are like, eh, they're so Republican, but yet, they're on the wrong party because they're
Right.
really against women. It's a very chauvinistic party.
It's all about it's just all about the power and money, I feel, for a lot of them, you know?
It's all about who has a certain part of the anatomy and who doesn't.
Right.
On the
All right.
Republican.
Well, this was fun, Mel. How do you feel about using StreamYard?
Actually, I love it.
Yeah, it's fun.
But
Like I said, it
I'll
definitely takes
have to
some time to get used to, but
I'll have to call you so that we can have another session because it was
mhm.
kind of a crash course. But thank you so much. I really appreciate
Yeah. Well, you were talking about let's doing a live, and I was like, well, I'll make you an administrator then, and you can kind of see what it's like to do it. You'll have all the power that I have while I go live. Thank you so much, Sharon.
I've got to sign up for it, but I'm not going to do the free one. I'm going to pay for it. But
Mhm.
hopefully by next week I'll have it up and running. And if I don't, you'll understand what's going on. But yeah,
Mhm.
I want to do this. This is kind of fun. It's a different dynamic.
Yeah, and that's what I love about it
I'm
going
reading
live.
questions, we're answering
Mhm.
questions, we're having a good time, but this is a whole different dynamic, which I kind of like actually.
Mhm. You really feed and feel all of that energy from the chat and like all of that love and support when you're going live. And
Absolutely.
for me, I don't like doing pre-recorded videos. Like I feel like it's very inauthentic to me. Like I'm just talking out loud, and then I start to get critical of myself. Like, okay, I explained that crappy. Let's stop and restart this, and I'll end up doing it like 4 or 5 times. And so for me, this gets me out of my own way. Because I can't really end a live while
Well,
we're
I have to watch myself and say I didn't finish that sentence, or I rocked too much, or I did
right.
too many uhs or does. I mean, I'm still going to do pre-recorded. That's not going to
Yeah.
stop because I'll still answer questions for people in the community. But what I'm going to do is when we do it, I'll do it first for my subscribers, and so they can live chat. And then what I'll do is when we're done, then I'll upload it to YouTube. Or StreamYard
Mhm.
automatically does that,
It automatically
and then
does
I'll
it.
change it so non-subscribers can see it.
Mhm.
So
All right. Well,
anyway,
thank you all so much. Make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe to my channel and Mel's. And make sure to stop by on Saturday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be doing my celebration and picking my winners for a free reading or Reiki session Saturday night. So we're going to have a fun celebratory live stream for hitting 5K subscribers. Probably sit back and let Linda tell some jokes and have a drink or two, just chill. Try to calm the energy. I know everybody's so stressed out with the midterms coming, so
do me a favor. Text me a reminder,
I
okay,
will.
and then text me a reminder for Andrea as well.
Okay.
All right,
All right.
Kevin, I'm
Well,
gonna.
if anybody needs to get a hold of you for a reading, how do they do that,
Oh,
Mel?
I'm sorry. They can call my office at 847-590-5411, 847-590-5411, or email me Mel, MEL, at Meldor, MELDOERR.com. Mel@meldor.com. I'm in
Nice.
my office tonight, so I told everybody that. So
Mhm.
I've been
If
here.
you need to get a hold of me for a reading or a Reiki session, you can text me at 440-376-4088 or email me at kevinlovingvibrations@gmail.com. I'm a little busy um, till after next week, but I have some openings after that if anybody's interested in that.
And if we don't answer your email right away, then call the office 847-590-5411 because Joan, who answers the emails, she's going in for a hip replacement. And
Okay.
um, And everybody, please send Joan healing energy. She'll be okay. I've got a feeling.
Mhm.
Anyway.
All right, Mel, that's always fun. Next week, your show or your channel?
My show.
Perfect. We'll have a lot to talk about come Thursday.
Well, I'll talk to you between now and then because I'm what little is left up here. I'm probably going to be pulling out, going, "Oh my God, how do I do this?"
Yeah, it's going to be a hectic month, but we'll get through it.
We'll get through it. All right, my friend. You stay well.
Yes, you too. Have a great night, everyone.